Let's crush this pot.
Hi, good afternoon. This message is for Lauren. We were retained to deliver certified documents to you to avoid further legal complications. Please contact the department.
We love it, Blitz. Outfit check. I just added the sunglasses.
You're very
too.
spooky today.
And a little shiny.
Halloweeny. Matt and Becca.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 18.
No.
Ah! 18 of the No Regrets podcast. I am Becca. That is Matt. And this is Blitz. Are you going to stay right there, buddy? No.
He's reaching.
No.
He's reaching.
You have a long leg to do that. Like, you got
like
all the way across the
It looks like a little
table.
human. We need the
I know.
pull tip.
Speaking of that, one of our major conversations, guys, was how do we get Blitz an airplane seat?
You can't.
How do we get Blitz an airplane seat? He's basically a human being. He's so close to a human being.
This
he
is where we
talks.
bring. Your dad is a pilot, so we just have to rent a plane or.
Yes, but it's not a very big plane. And you, me, my dad, plus Blitz will not fit in that. First of all, it's someone's birthday today!
Oh
And
no, he
now
was
he's up
relaxing.
again.
He was relaxing.
Happy birthday, Coach Matt Bear! Are you having a great birthday so far?
Yes.
I made you breakfast like I normally do on Thursday. Got to sleep in a little bit. I did tell the morning crew, I was like, when they see you tomorrow, wish you happy late birthday. So I don't know what that's going to bring, but they love you very much. And they were like, oh my gosh, I'll remember to tell him. How do you feel about birthdays out there, guys? Are you a celebrate your birthday, party hard kind of person, or just like don't acknowledge it? We're both pretty
It's like
chill. Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable.
Like
People telling me happy birthday.
Thank you. That's what you say. Thank you. Same to you. You too.
You too.
No, but we don't
But
have
like
anything.
I always say about, sometimes people complain about getting older, and I'm like, it beats the alternative. You're either getting older or you're dead. Like, that's how life works.
Maybe we should
No.
celebrate birthdays a little bit more
No
then.
stopping the clock.
We're not dead.
We're not dead. We're not dead.
That's how we celebrate birthdays. But we're planning to go to the ultimate grocery store, H-E-B, here in Texas, to go get some cake. They usually have a good dessert section, so we love some H-E-B trips. So we'll do that this weekend. Nothing too crazy during the week because we're so busy, and this week's extra busy because we have Bolt Wars, which we talked about last week. So if you guys didn't hear that, tune in to last week's episode to hear all about how Bolt Wars works around here, and we're just getting hyped for that. So a little bit of a busy week, but we will still celebrate with some dessert and other things after Bolt Wars, I guess. You know?
You're hyped for the dessert.
I am. Anytime, especially in my family, we're like, birthday, cake, excuse to get a cake. And we have what's called birthday season in our family because we go January, February, March, April, then we have a break. So there's a full season of birthday cakes that come around.
I'm not I love cake. I love baked
You're a cookie person.
baked goods, so cake is good if it's got the right icing or if it's not like overly sugary. But a funny story, we had a member who randomly had a cake, nothing but cake, and he had to put it in our office. And I walked in there and I was like, oh, she surprised me with the cake. And then Mario, shout out Mario, came in and he was like, I'm here to get my cake.
Yeah,
and I was kind of like,
oh. That is like the one cake.
At first I'm like, I'm not that into sweets. And then I was like, oh, he's taking away the cake.
That is like your one cake that has the icing that you love on it. Because usually
I love
that's how we complete each other, is you always have the one person that eats the cake and scrapes off the icing like a psycho.
Well,
and then you have the other psycho that eats the icing just right off the plate. That's me.
Yeah.
I'll take yummy major sweet tooth over here. But yes, it is
so
birthday
we'll get
time.
HEB cake.
For you. HEB cake. If you guys don't know what HEB is, I mean, it's a Texas thing, right? It's only in Texas.
Yes.
We recently got one that's fairly close to here. It's still a decent driveway, but it's worth the drive. The ultimate grocery store. So I'm excited for that. I'm also kind of that person that uses your birthday as an excuse to do fun things that I want to do. Okay, moving on. I wanted to talk about my training week. I had a good training week so far.
Go.
3, 2, 1, go. No, there's...
This week or last week or from the podcast?
This week. I mean, it's from starting Monday through to today, which is like semi-rest day. Just some weeks I feel like they're really good. I just feel like the workouts went well. The workouts went to kind of the good plans that I had. And other weeks, I feel like nothing's going to plan every single time. And then I wanted to kind of bring it up just because there's been some folks that I've tried to help in training give like some training advice too, because a popular question that comes up when I'm working with them or just talking to other people is just how do you know when you're getting everything out of training? How do you know when you're giving 100%? And how do you know this? And how do you know training is going well versus not? And I wanted to say, just because I'm having a good week and feeling really good, that last week I was feeling the exact opposite. It's always always got these ups and downs, riding the roller coaster and hitting good workouts, hitting not so great workouts, and then having good lifting days, having bad lifting days. And I think when I was really kind of thinking through this, I think it came down to, I believe it's good when you're always questioning whether it was good, bad, whether I think I got everything out of training, whether I think I didn't squeeze every ounce of effort out of those training sessions. Because it's not just like, yeah, I did that workout perfectly. There's nothing else I could have done to get better. I think a lot of people try to imagine it's like that, even for the athletes that are at the top of their sport, when actually I think the athletes that are at the top of the sport question themselves even harder. And I almost think, for me, training is just as mentally exhausting, if not more mentally exhausting than physically. And I just try to ride these highs when I'm feeling good through training, because there will be another wave that comes that is much, much harder mentally, physically, because your body's always going through its changes. Training's always looking a little bit different. So workouts have been going good this week. I started off with those couplets that I did on Monday. You guys should keep up with my stories. I try to share a lot of what I'm doing on my stories. But feeling really good, seeing some improvement on some lifts. You've been challenging me with all these weird 1-rep maxes, which is shocking my body. My body's what is going on? It's okay, buddy. They're not here to take you away. Don't focus on the kazoos. But I've been telling some people, because people are always so curious about what my training looks like in off season. I've been trying to explain the madness you've been putting me through of just these grindy 1-rep maxes of all different types of squats, different types of pressing, different types of pulling, trying to just, get stronger that way. But I think it's making me more tired than doing multiple Metcons a day. All of a sudden, at the end of the day, I'm just dead. Doing things like
it's a different stimulus.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
Doing things like the banded back squats or pin presses off of a bench press setup. What are some other things we've been doing? Sumo deadlifts, which is something I just don't understand at this point. My body does not know how to sumo deadlift. Eventually it will. Yeah. Do you like the way your programming is going?
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it. It's different. It's way different.
Yeah. We're just prioritizing. We're doing some conjugate strength training. So we have a max effort upper and a max effort lower day. And, kind of not following exactly the traditional conjugate method because we're not just power lifters, right? We're CrossFitters. So we're doing other things, and on our speed days, you know, we're substituting some different things like doing some of the traditional speed work that they do, but doing other stuff like working on our split jerk, which is a speed upper body pressing movement in a way. So having fun with that, I think so far, I think we've seen some good things, and just I like the way that it's challenging you in a new way when it comes to your strength training. So I think it's been good, and you have these kind of like less metcons, but barbell metcons when you're holding on to something for higher reps or touch and go work, or which I know is good for you because you kind of hate it comparative to like
I'd rather do
a 15-minute death workout for most of us. She would rather do than some of the strength, hold onto the bar for like a set of 8 or 10.
Give
or
me like
a
15-minute AMRAP and I'm fine with it. What we did, not this past Monday, but the Monday before, we're building off of it. Like the first round of these power snatches was just 3 sets of 7 power snatches. Heaviest you can go, but the 7 reps had to be unbroken. I was just complaining the whole way up into all the way through all 3 sets. So I was like, I'd rather do a workout. Just give me a workout. I don't want to do these sets of 7. Just because, I mean, when you go max effort into that and you're hanging onto that bar, it hits you way different. So a little bit of different style of training.
I would say something else just in regards to your mental approach and how you're saying you feel good, and you definitely want to ride those highs, but realizing that you're on a roller coaster. So when you're screaming downhill or you don't have such a great day, like not letting it just totally wreck the rest of your training day, or like if one piece goes bad, realizing that's just a day, you still showed up, you put in the work, and not letting it just take you deeper.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a realization too, is like, hey, when I'm feeling good and riding the highs, I'm going to kind of like enjoy it and like push into that. But when you have those bad sessions or something that's not great or doesn't play out like you plan, then you just use it as like, that's part of the way things go. It's a learning opportunity. And then I think the other thing that people get screwed up on is they don't base their satisfaction on a workout or a piece on their effort, and then realizing like, hey, I put in the effort and there's something I can learn from it. They look at it, they put their feelings or their emotions are based upon how if it went exactly to plan, and or how they ended up on the leaderboard. And that comparison game versus like, you can totally smash a workout for you. Like we can do a 1K row and you could PR by 10 seconds. You're still going to get beat by a lot of other people. But there's that, but you know, it's like chipping away at those weaknesses and trying to shorten that distance. And I think people just get caught up in that too, is learning the balance of the effort versus the comparison game, and then also effort, but how can I be a smarter athlete and not just put in effort, but have it a little bit more direction, that vector velocity.
And it's learning, it's hard. It's learning so much about yourself. And even to this day, every single workout, the reason that it's so mentally stressful is, like I said, I'm asking myself, I'm analyzing the workout as soon as it's done. Where can I improve? Did I actually push myself to my limits? And it's hard to know that. And but I think that's what makes us mentally strong, is when you can really dig deep mid-workout and be like, okay, I'm gonna go for it right here. I'm gonna push myself mentally right here when the workout gets sticky and everything. And that's where you get those little wins. And then you gotta just trust that what I'm doing is what I can control, and that if I focus on that and put 100% of myself into that, I can't control anything else. So that's what I gotta trust. And that's when you can really gain some confidence and be okay with PRing your 1K row, even though on a leaderboard it might look really far down. There's the comparison game, is, we've talked about it before, is such a dangerous game. But what really secures you in your confidence is just putting 100%, whatever that looks like each day, into each training session, and then learn from it. It's not, I would say the majority of my workouts don't go they don't go exactly to plan. In mid-workout, you're learning to adapt and change, and that's what makes great athletes is something's not going to go right. In that moment, you figure it out, you adapt, you get stronger because of it, and then you learn from it. You have more tools in your bag.
It's just having intention and analyzing. Like if you're a CrossFit athlete, this is your sport. Like doing a CrossFit Metcon, there's so many nuances to it. And so just walking into it and having a plan and something you're gonna do and like how you're gonna try to execute it, whether it be breaking it up or, you know, how you're gonna attack certain pieces or maybe use certain pieces as more of a recovery or rest and learning the sport in that way. Like you have to have intention when you do it, not just working hard. And that's the big thing that a lot of people can improve on is just like having that intention, thinking through it, and then, you know, talking that through with your coach. And then, you know, hopefully that's how you learn. We always talk about that when we program EMOMs. Like that's how you learn is having a plan going in and sticking to that plan.
Yeah. The hardest part of training as a CrossFit athlete specifically is this sport changes. You're not doing the same rep over and over. Like you're not a track athlete running these distances where you know your paces, where if I'm not feeling good that day, I'm going to be able to exactly tell that I'm not feeling good that day because my time is going to be slower. In this world, it's all effort. It's all how you perceive your effort. And you will have the good days, you will have the bad days, but it's really hard to measure it when we're doing different workouts.
That's what makes it such a fun and challenging sport to like do and to coach and to program for, because it's like if you're a track athlete, like even if maybe at the high school level, you might run like the 200, 400, and 800, and you can like practice those different speeds. But we do those kind of different paces across so many different modalities. I got to know how I can row a 500 meter in a mixed modality piece versus how fast can I row a 5K pace at. And then I need to know that with thrusters, how can I cycle thrusters with a 55-pound bar and how can I cycle thrusters with a 95-pound bar. All of that changes. So you have to know those, like learning those nuances and those paces like on every single movement is really a challenge and fun, and makes programming and all of that stuff kind of like an endless puzzle that you're trying to put together.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that and mention the training week just because it is exhausting and hard work and at the same time a whole lot of fun, and that's how sport should be when you're wanting to compete in sport and get better at it and just progress in it. And I want everyone to realize, like especially in this sport that is, I always refer to it as the sport of hard work, is the way you feel going through your workouts and challenging and pushing yourself physically and mentally through workouts is the same exact way games athletes feel during workouts. They're always questioning themselves. They're hard on themselves. They want every single ounce of effort put out on the floor to see where it gets them. We're all just in like our different stages and everything and working on different strengths and weaknesses, but everybody, including myself, and I know all these other games athletes, I don't want to put words in the people's mouths, but I know when you're competing hard and wanting to get to the top of this sport is everybody's having that mental battle of, what did I get out of this workout? Did I get everything I possibly could out of this workout? Am I getting better? And you just have to trust that if I just show up with a plan, prepared, and work out with intention, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. So, great training week. Good stuff to talk about there. Keep up with all my stories on my Instagram page, and you guys can see a lot of what we are doing. Other than that, in between sessions, I've been building a candy castle and building...
It's a legit castle in the gym.
There is a castle in the gym right now, and I've been waiting for today to go start decorating it. I've made lollipops. I've made
ring pops. Your sister
my sister made ring pops for us. We've been making all the Candyland stuff for Bolt Wars, so Saturday's going to be wild, and I'm so ready for everyone to see and be a part of such a fun event. Let's get into questions. First question is, how do you train before a competition? In parentheses, like a week before. How do you prep for a competition? Like, programming-wise, it does start to change, and we do start to dial down volume a week and a half-ish, 2 weeks-ish before. You can kind of talk better on this than me. Like, what
it's a question of, here's my
workouts.
Are they asking you in particular, or how they should?
I think this is how they should. I want to give some. I think this is a big question
advice.
that, especially like for local comp folks getting into local comps. I know some of our fellows.
Let's
that
just
compete
answer
in
it that
local
as a
comps.
local comp question.
Okay. Some folks that get into like local comps around here definitely have a hard time because we've had our fair share of people that just freaking take the whole week off because they're like, I have to save all my energy for the weekend. And then you have people that don't appropriately deload and they probably don't get as much recovery as they should. So there's definitely a balance of like, let's say you're competing on the weekend. Let's go there.
So the week before, I would say, hopefully you've practiced how you're going to eat in between events. If you hopefully practiced a few like double days or days where you do multiple Metcons. But especially if you haven't, you definitely need to be working out some that week because it's going to be a much different experience than you're used to if you haven't done one of the competitions before, or done multiple sessions in a day. But I would say, Monday can pretty much be normal, what you're normally accustomed to, the volume you're normally accustomed to. Tuesday, you can start maybe still doing some of the same things or prepping movements that are coming up in the competition because hopefully you have some of the workouts there.
Yeah.
And you can hit some workouts or hit a workout with get your heart rate up, hit some high intensity, but not necessarily high volume. And then Wednesday, start really trying to cut back, focusing on mobility, moving well. Could still do like a breathing piece, but I'd be really mindful of, anything that could make you sore, anything that could tear up your hands, kind of staying away from those things. And then Thursday and Friday, depending on when your competition, if this is just like a one-day Saturday type thing, would just be recovery, light aerobic work, mobility work, that sort of stuff.
Up like a really easy
something like a really easy EMOM for you that's easy for you to do.
That's got some basic machine, squat, hinge, maybe something to deal with some of the movements that are in the competition.
And if you're normally we have a lot of people here that are like 3 days on, Thursday off, and then 2 days on. I would go ahead and do what I normally do on Thursday, take my full rest day, and then Friday do that.
Come in and breathe.
That light breathe, stretch.
Yeah, I mean,
just knock off any of the cobwebs that may be there from that rest day.
I always feel a lot better when even just the day before, obviously a lot of stretching and mobility. You don't just want to do absolutely nothing right before you compete because then your body's going to be like, go from 0 to 100 and feel a little shocked. So lots of stretching, mobility, but yes, get out and breathe a little bit, keep the lungs feeling good.
The biggest thing is it's all relative, right? Your volume is way different than my volume than someone else's volume. So you just want to start like pulling back the volume. You can have have something that's like high intensity on a machine on Wednesday if you really wanted to. That's not super long. But I would probably stop that on like
things at the beginning of the week.
I would even stop that on Tuesday if you're really trying to like really peak, but it's all relative to the person. The big thing is you want to be, once you're getting Wednesday on, it's great to stay moving. It's great to be doing stuff, but you should be doing it at an intensity and at a volume that's less than what you normally do.
Yes. We want that healthy balance of like, don't stop doing fitness the week before. You still need to be moving, breathing, stretching, keeping your body feeling good, but not overdoing yourself. And the more you do like this process of the week before and going into a competition and the different types of competitions you do, it's always a learning game. You're gonna get better at it over time. There was one other thing I wanted to say with this.
One other thing I'll say is just like in your warm up to start the competition, that first workout is always so nerve-wracking, and it's easy your heart rate to go.
Feel like poop in that.
Yeah, it's always like scary. or like your adrenaline's going and you might want to go out too hot, is like, especially if you've taken a lot of time off or a couple of days off, make sure you're getting your heart rate up in your warm-up.
So it's not happening on the very first workout.
So it's not happening on the very first workout when you haven't got it up that high in the last day or two. So.
Oh, I was going to mention, that's what it was. I was going to mention at the Spyling Games, they programmed, it was challenging, they programmed these athletes 4 workouts in one day. We talked about it when we came back, and it was, you could see some of these athletes, we talked to them, they were struggling by that last workout, a little bit on the crampy side, just body's not used to that volume. So yeah, definitely, even local competitions have 3 events in one day. If you're not used to that, you need to get at least 1 or 2 days like that under your belt, and then make sure you taper appropriately on your training.
And
like
the other thing too is, like, no matter how hard you go in class,
the intensity is different.
That last little 1 or 2% that you hit at the competition,
dude, it's insane.
It hits different. I don't care what level of athlete, level of competition you're doing, it hits different. It's hard to recover from. So. Just be prepared for that, and how you fuel and your nutrition in between your workouts.
No matter how many times, like, I've been competing a long time in this, every single time it shocks me. Like, how much, like, you're pushing yourself hard in the gym, but when there's that extra little ounce that you get out on the competition floor from adrenaline and all of that, it hits you so differently, and you can't replicate it in here. But it's cool. It makes it more challenging to recover. Recovery becomes way more important. You're feeling the soreness, but at the same time, you get that adrenaline, what we all love to feel on the competition floor. That extra little boost. Love that feeling. Cool. Hope that helps you. Good luck at your competition. I don't know if you've done it or anything yet, but hopefully that helps you guys that are looking to compete in the future. We have a lot of coaching questions, so put on your coach's hat. Coaching sunglasses. Tips for wanting to become a CrossFit coach. Well, make sure you like helping people, because that's all this is you're trying to help people get physically and mentally stronger. There is a fairly simple process to getting into being a CrossFit coach. First of all, I want to suggest this before you jump into like the actual like things you have to do to become a certified coach, is go get into your community. We always say that when we have folks wanting to like get involved in the coaching world around here, is like, get in the community, meet the people, work out with the people, meet the coaches. Every gym has a different style of coaching. I know this, and I haven't even visited like a ton of gyms, but just from those that we've visited and watching a lot, everybody has their own style of coaching. So you have to learn that vibe a little bit. Make sure it's something that you're kind of eager to learn more about and dive into that process. And then the actual process for becoming a CrossFit coach is you have to go through the CrossFit seminars, the L1 seminars, to get your certification to become an actual CrossFit trainer. But it is a whole lot of fun if you're ready to work hard and learn a lot and get to be around people a lot. And people are complicated. We had a whole conversation before we hopped on the podcast of how complicated all of us people are. But it can be such a rewarding job when you love it and you keep just
yeah, that's like the best feeling in the world, when you see somebody working hard and the light bulb moment where it goes off in their head, or they get that movement, or they understand.
Or they see like basic progress in strength like, and nutrition and stuff like that.
It's a lot of fun. The other thing I would say is, like, obviously level 1 is great, but the CrossFit Journal,
reading through,
it's got so much stuff on it. I mean, YouTube has so much stuff. YouTube University, like, if you're interested in becoming a coach, I know sometimes that's a hurdle. It's like, oh, I don't understand this. Like, you can, if you're passionate about it, you can self-teach or learn so much on YouTube, or just all that old CrossFit Journal material. You can get on that. It's worth its weight in gold. Like, if you want to learn how to be a good CrossFit coach, and just so many different aspects of, I mean, there's so many different things on there, from anatomy to different movement stuff, or the CrossFit methodology. nutrition. There's so many different things in there. So
there's so many
look
resources.
like resources like that, and finding ways like, hey, what can I learn here? Or finding ways to learn. I mean, on YouTube now, there's a million things on weightlifting and weightlifting technique videos and videos like our coach Rebecca puts out,
where you can learn. Videos.
I mean, if you're trying to be a coach, go watch all of her videos. That's all you're getting. Great coaching
free
cues,
content, free studying,
education,
free education
for you to be a better coach. And then also I think that what is it?
I mean, I learned a lot from watching. I was obsessed when I first got
we all
into
learn
CrossFit,
as coaches. Like you copy first, to some degree. Like that's what when you're learning from everything. It's you're always like copying from other people that you like or that you relate with or that you've learned stuff from. And then at some point, as you gain more confidence, you can kind of you dovetail and learn to put your own spin on it or come up with new ideas of what about this cue for that? Or, but yeah, find coaches you like, find content you like, and then learn it and then apply it. So,
that's when
everyone copies from everyone in some degree.
No. That's exactly, and people can still tell to this day. Every now and then, not so much these days, I think because I've kind of gotten to the stage of developing my own style, but when I first started coaching here, one of my favorite things still to do to this day is sit back and watch you coach or watch some of our other coaches coach, because you learn from everyone. And I love watching our different styles, from the board talks to the warm-ups to how we explain different lifts and different movements and everything. But when I started coaching here, and I was really nervous about board talks and warm-ups and making sure I structure warm-ups right and everything, I'd watch you, I'd copy you, I'd study how the flow of everything went, and then eventually, years in, I started developing my own style, exactly how you said, and now it's kind of comes more naturally, but there's still moments I sit back and I watch our coaches or watch you, and I'm like, oh, I really like that. I'm going to start trying to learn that.
That was a cool warm-up idea.
Yeah, you grab those little things along the way, so. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of fun and very, very rewarding when you can really pour that effort into other people and see that progress in other people. Another question off of that is, what does it require to become a full-time coach? I think a lot of people ask me this because this is what I do full-time. Obviously, you built the gym. It's been up and running for almost 12 and a half. Next year it'll be 13 years, which is absolutely incredible.
We have a teenager.
Oh my gosh. The gym is going to go through his teenage years. I hope it doesn't do anything crazy. But guys, when I started building into my CrossFit coaching career, my parents thought I was crazy. You know this because they were like, get Rebecca to go to college, right? That was my mom. Get Rebecca to go back to school. I did a year and a half of community college, and I said, this is a waste of my time. I'm sorry. It's not for me. But I knew where I wanted to be. I wanted to pour all my time and effort into this place. So I, still to this day, am hustling hard to be financially successful in this profession. But when I first started coaching, obviously I'd coach hours at the gym. I had an hourly rate at that time, but I also started hustling on some personal training. And that's where you can really turn this into a good paying job. There's always opportunities, especially nowadays with finding clientele from doing online programs and just promoting yourself online. So a lot of where I started making money through doing this is personal training through the gym. And then on the side of that, you do your hours of coaching and your hours of personal training, but make sure you're trying to develop yourself and your brand if that's going to be something you're going to do. By no means, it's this is hard. It's a lot of hard-working hours up on your feet and trying to always make sure you got the right people in your corner. And I know we had meetings a long time of how do we want to push the gym and where I want to go to try to make this my full-time job without feeling like I'm going to get stuck somewheres. and then, yeah, just keep growing the gym. And it takes, we still to this day, like, go through our brainstorming sessions because it's a lot of work that goes into this place. Small business.
I mean, it's a, hopefully, one thing, kind of going back to the last question too, is like, if you're looking to be a coach, like, you have to have, if you're not going to start your own gym, find a gym where you kind of fit in with the community and everything, but don't be afraid to, like, say something to the owner. Like, if you're interested in coaching, like,
do this.
We're always looking for great people that are invested and want to be a part of it. And then, you know, when you approach that situation or as you're coming about, like, just finding ways that you can help each other, or maybe they invest in you in some ways, but also like, hey, how can I get back to the gym? My job and my success is tied to the gym. So, like, am I making the members happy in my class? Mm-hmm. If I'm doing a great job coaching in my class or spending a little bit extra time here, that's opportunity for me to do personal training. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love the opportunity to do more personal training in here. It's just a matter of time and putting together with coaches and all that sort of stuff that have the time to do it, or that works with schedules. But I'm happy as an owner, if you're creating value for my people, like, you're going to get a big chunk of, like, way more than you would at like a 24-hour fitness as a personal trainer. Yeah. So finding ways that you can work with them and just letting the owners know that you're interested, and if you're in the right community, there should be opportunities. And then the other thing I'll say about you too is, I think some people would look at your success as an athlete and be like, oh, it's easy for you to get personal training clients and this and that. But she was doing this before she made the games. And even if you're a great athlete, that might get you the initial clientele, but they're not going to stay around, and you're not going to be able to build an income unless you actually...
You got to pour your heart into it.
We call it give an F around here.
You can say it one time on the podcast. I'll bleep it out.
Giving an F about your people, and they see the time and effort and your desire to push into them, and that's one of the reasons why you've been so successful with those people that you've worked with, is because you care and you're trying to make them better.
It's the only way you're going to make it is you just got to love it. And that's, like, to this day, guys, I do all of this stuff, and I mean, I don't have a lot coming in from it, but I find that much more valuable than, like, just hunting for money all the way. The two will line up. I believe it, because I want to be successful on like building a brand and the business side of stuff too. But I know that's going to come with keep doing what I love and keep pouring back into the people that I love, because that's how you build an unstoppable, just like, brand force, like, community. Everything that you need is right there. So I love it. I hope you guys that are looking to be coaches realize there's so much opportunity out there. You just got to be willing to work for it, hustle for it, and then it's so worth it. It's so rewarding in the end. So I hope you guys are looking to maybe get in the coaching world too. We love it. We live it. And that's that. Another question that kind of goes with a little bit of everything that we talked about today. How do you balance coaching and training and not being burnt out? This is a question I very much respect, because you guys get to see a lot of the happy-go-lucky side on Instagram, and I do try to share a lot of, like, the hard-working side and the hard moments too, but you're not going to see all of it. The answer is in the question. Like, coaching helps me balance out the hard work of training. Me personally, I need both sides to stay sane. If I just spent all of my mental and physical effort on training, I think I'd get burnt out really, really quick, just because the pressure you put on yourself, the workload that it takes. When I'm coaching and helping others, it helps me take all of that brain power that goes into training. It helps me take some time away from that, but yet I'm still getting some solid work in mentally, and it's helping me recover mentally. So training and coaching, like, is so important to me. I make sure I'm always going to be doing a little bit of both to make sure I don't reach that burnout stage of I'm overwhelmed or I'm not doing the things that I want to do. Also, I mean, I do hit some days that, I mean, you know this more than anyone. I do hit some days where I'm just like tired. And I'm like, training's hard, being up on my feet, coaching is so hard, but I know that's what I have to do.
Another thing I'll say, coaching isn't for everyone, and you said this too. So you have to like want or have a desire to coach and help people, but I don't care what sport it is, what you're doing. When you teach something or coach something, it makes you better at that thing. So like coaching will make you a better athlete. Learning how to understand a movement enough to teach it, I mean, that's a kind of a concept across anything. You know, you have to teach somebody how to do a math problem, then you're going to get way better at math. And so, and it goes across all sports as well. So obviously you shouldn't force yourself into coaching if it's not something you feel called to do, or that's kind of your skill set or something you want to do. But I think that is something that in the past was kind of normal, that a lot of athletes were involved in that to some degree, at least CrossFit athletes. And now there's very few, or a lot less that do any sort of coaching. I mean, there's more, I guess there's some people that put out videos and stuff like that, like tips and tricks and stuff like that.
But being on the floor in the community is like...
But just learning how to coach and teach is like, will make you a better athlete in a lot of ways.
I said it in a post this week. I said, I was joking a little bit when I said it, just because that's what I tell the athletes sometime in here. I'm like, I'm just using you guys. I learned so much from you guys. You guys teach me so many things. I become a better athlete from coaching you guys. And I know being a competitive athlete and trying to push myself helps me be a better coach for these guys in here. So it's a running joke. Like, I'm just using you guys. It's making me better too. Everybody benefits from it. But yeah, that answers in the question, like coaching and doing coaching and training is just how I'm going to stay sane through all of this. Keeps me, I have a whole post ready to type out that says, my main focus is the community. And that title is going to hit people so hard, just because a lot of people think I don't take it seriously enough to like be one of the top athletes in the sport. And I'm like, no, it's just the way I know the community and the things I do, like, and these people in the community, that is what fuels me. That is what's going to keep me.
Doing funny reels.
That is what's going to keep me happy and wanting to keep pushing in this sport, versus chopping all of that off and putting 100% of my focus on, I got to be at the top of the podium or else. Like, that's not healthy. What's healthy is being around the people that you love and that give you that fuel to keep pushing. And then thankfully, and knock on wood, I have not come anywhere near those icky feelings of this is not for me anymore. Everyone in here has helped me stay like very, very happy, and it's very encouraging all the time. I love it. Healthy balance. I want to keep that. Last question before we get to Coach Jen's question of the week. Stay tuned. Got any tips for your first year at the games? I'm 14 and hoping to go this year. It's your first year in the teenage division. Whoop whoop. So I love these. I love this. I just had a conversation with one of our really young athletes that just joined the gym, and he also said, hey, it'd be really cool. I really want to make it to the games one year as a teenager. I said, hell yeah, let's do it. Very much doable. The teenage years are all the learning years, though. You know what's funny about the teenage years is everybody looks so different. All the teenagers look so different because everybody's like growing. Everybody's going to have their different like times of their growth spurts and everything. For your first, if I'm just talking like, imagine you made it to the CrossFit Games as a teenager. So I'm giving you tips for your first year at the CrossFit Games. It'd be crazy. I was scared out of my mind. I was a horrible competitor back then, as far as like my mental game was just weak in the toilet, trash can material for just being mental. I was just scared when I went out on the floor, and it'll push you being around like it'll be your first time being around the best athletes in the world, and it's very, very humbling. And the teenage years are all just the learning years of get competition experience under your belt, have fun, because you don't know, you're so young, you don't know where life's going to take you yet, but make those first years at the games, or especially this first year, a good memory?
Yeah, have fun, enjoy the moment. It goes by so quick. No matter if you're athlete, coach, whoever. And then, like Rebecca said, I think an important part is having a balanced approach to your training in your life. And like, it's so easy to get caught up in like, I want to do this the rest of my life, and that's awesome, and there's some great goals to set, but
a lot. You have a long way to go.
Yeah, having some just kind of figuring out your path and having some balance in everything that you do. Like, still,
you're growing up, youngin'. I'm old now. I'm old, but I still remember the teenage years like they were yesterday. So much growth is going to happen physically and mentally. So I just really encourage anyone who's going for this sport that's going to be in your life for so long, like through all the divisions, through the adult division, through the masters division. I want it to stay in everyone's life for so long. You got to start off with these good memories of, I'm going to go compete at the CrossFit Games as a teenager. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to gain some really awesome competition experience. But at the same time, don't make it your full identity. I want you to work hard and compete hard at it, but don't make it like this is all or nothing. A lot of the teenagers that I competed with in 2016 and 2017, a lot of them don't compete CrossFit anymore just because life will take you different places. But I'm very thankful that I was just one of them that was like, this is going to be my life. This is what I want to do. And I still love it. So just kick off your competitive CrossFit career with some good memories. Have fun with it and compete hard. You're going to hopefully have many more years under your belt. Cool?
Fun.
That's the only way this sport works. We talk about it all the time. If you're not having fun doing this, it doesn't work. Okay? Plain and simple. You're not going to show up every day if it's not fun. You're not going to show up to do thrusters, or today in the gym we have 4x400 meter run. I was so proud of everyone that showed up for that today. They worked hard this morning. Everybody was dying on those. All right, pulling it up. And we've made it to the best part of the podcast. It is Coach Jen's. Wait, we're getting the Blitz cam ready. Are you ready?
Blitz.
Coach Jen's question of the week.
Buddy.
Oh my gosh, it's an earthquake. He was under the table and his head was
in a nap. Poor boy.
I'm sorry, buddy. We have Coach Jen's question of the week, and she heard last week's episode and heard me say that was too easy of a question when we were talking about haunting people. And she was like, okay, I'll just make them harder. Challenge accepted. This question is, would you rather never be able to eat your favorite food again, or have to follow every meal by eating a bite of your least favorite food? Do you need me to read that again? That was very confusing. So you either give up your favorite meal, which is, in my case is mac and cheese. I don't know if I could go without mac and cheese for the rest of my life. Or after every meal that you eat, you take a bite of your least favorite food, which is, for me, you know what that is. Fruit. I would figure out how to beat the system and make some other form of mac and cheese and avoid eating a banana. I'm trying to figure out how to answer this question. Okay, I cannot give up mac and cheese for the rest of my life. But I can't. I would die. I would die if I had to.
Is going to end in dissatisfaction because
the
last thing in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth
is banana.
My God, I'm going to throw up just thinking about it.
Immediately go brush your teeth.
Oh, I'm going to throw up just thinking about it. I guess I have to give up mac and cheese then. I can't do it, Jen. I can't. Like, no, I'm just going to I'm going to throw up thinking about it. And the way you just put it is just like you're enjoying mac and cheese, but at the
I'm different than you.
Like, I can't put that down. I'm going to throw up just thinking about it. I can't do it.
See, I'm different than you because part of me is I like so many foods that I could give up like my favorite food because there's so many other things I like.
No, I only have ice cream and mac and cheese. That's all I want.
There's on the flip side, I like so many foods, so I'm thinking about like the worst food I could possibly eat. That I would be like,
candy
it's
corn.
Not that bad. Yeah, well.
I like candy corn.
I would say candy corn's the worst food, but I wouldn't want necessarily that after every single meal.
You know what? I keep trying to like Twizzlers, and I don't.
Okay.
I want to like Twizzlers, but I don't. I try them all the time. I'll probably try them because I'll probably find some Halloween candy laying around. I'll be like, Twizzlers, this is the year. And I'll try it and get disappointed again. My
answer, I would give up my least favorite food because or my favorite food because I have so many that are like right there at the top. I'm such a creature of habit that I could just give it up. And
Jen, you did good with this one. This is hard.
That's what I would do.
I can't believe I have to give up mac and cheese because I can't, I will projectile vomit.
There's no way you could eat a banana every meal.
I would die. I would not want to be on planet Earth if bananas still existed and I had to eat a banana every time or take a bite. It's just take a bite, but I can't even do that. I can't even smell it. Like, do not come around me with a banana. God, I'll throw up. It's so strong. I just don't know. What am I going to do without mac and cheese? This is hard. I have to give up mac and cheese.
It's not real life.
I have to give up mac and cheese. I'm like crying. I'm just trying to think of a good substitute if I have to give up mac and cheese.
I know what I'm gonna.
I guess pizza. I can do with some pizza.
I know what I'm gonna decorate the house with to scare you for Halloween. Just a bunch of bananas hanging.
I'll never come back.
You wake up, there's just bananas hanging everywhere.
I'll never come back, and you will be a lonely person. I'll never come back. We'll burn those bananas. Light the house on fire. That's that. That was a good one, Jen. That was a good one. All right. I don't know if I have a workout.
Workout of the week.
You give a workout of the week. What did you do this week?
Oh, you.
I don't know what I did. I don't remember.
You said you were sore from that Saturday's workout.
Oh, that's too long. That's too long.
The
bike and the burpee box jump over. People were asking for that workout, actually. Okay, we'll do that one. 5 sets. 5 sets was a lot. You could always go 4 to 5 sets, but no. No, if you're watching the podcast, you got to do 5 sets. 12-calorie bike. Use the Echo. If you have an assault bike, you can use that. 12-calorie bike. 9 dumbbell overhead squats on each arm. I use the 60-pound dumbbell. And those are just like... test out that movement before you try to start this workout. You either love it or you hate it. 9 and 9 of the dumbbell overhead squats, 12 burpee box jump overs, and 9 bar muscle ups. Pretty
Rest 2 minutes.
Rest 2 minutes in between each set. That is what we did this week. It was spicy. My legs were on fire. I still think that's mainly from being sore still from Saturday. I think I'm finally getting over that.
Aim for something that you can finish in about 3 minutes.
I was sitting right under 3. Like, I was fighting to get under 3 minutes.
And or single set on the bar muscle ups.
Yeah. Scale the bar muscle ups to go 1 set. 1 big set. There you go. Another successful podcast. And put my sunglasses on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe.
See you next time, guys.
Wait. I haven't done my outro. I have to tell them where to... Oh, we might have merch coming out soon. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I have new t-shirt designs. Keep an eye out for that. Follow us on Instagram at Rebecca Fuselier, Coach Matt Bear, and Blitz the Best Boy. If you have questions for us, you can email us at getthatfusenews@gmail.com, and keep an eye out for any other fun stuff that we're doing on YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.